Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. This is Niger Delta Today, your frontline platform for discussions that shape policy, governance, and everyday life across the region. My name is Xavier Robert. Today, we're turning our focus to something every single one of us interact with daily, which is our roads. From the busy streets of Uyo to the highways that connect communities across Akwa Ibom, road safety is not just a government responsibility. It's a shared civic duty, but beyond enforcement, it's about trust, professionalism, and a system that protects lives, not just penalizes mistakes. So today we sit down with a new voice, a new leadership direction, and perhaps a renewed approach to road safety in Akwa Ibom State. Our story of interest today takes us to quiet questions hanging over Edo State right now. How a place so rich in culture, history, and artistic expression can bolster its entertainment industry in terms of structure, direction, and depth. From the days when cultural centers like the Oba Kenzua Cultural Center served as hubs of creativity and collaboration, to today, when much of the industry activity seems to evolve around lounges coming into something globally competitive. We'll be bringing him later on the program. CEO Walkfront African Network Limited, convener, Best of Edo Award, and the Future Conference, himself an entertainment media strategist and youth development advocate, Sir Paul Ofoni, joins us virtually from Edo State. Good afternoon to you. Thank you for joining us. All right, while we take our story of interest, we'll quickly move straight to the Niger Delta updates and revert to the story of interest much later on the program. And that will take us to our first Niger Delta updates, which is on Uyo Senatorial District. In recognition of the impactful leadership of Governor Omoino, the people of Akwa Ibom Northeast Uyo Senatorial District have presented him with a communique of endorsement for his second term office. Presenting the endorsement communique to the governor, the leader of the senatorial district, Senator Afyong Bob, applauded Governor Eno for his quality leadership and announced the stakeholders' decision to unanimously endorse him for a second term in office. Senator Bob also noted that they had also endorsed President Bola Tinubu, GCFR, as well as the Senate President, distinguished Senator Godswill Akpabio, GCON, for excellent leadership, which has helped reshape the nation. Moved by their commitment, the governor contest for a re-election, the local government chairman from the senatorial district offered to purchase his nomination form. In his remark, Governor Eno appreciated the political and stakeholders of the senatorial district for their overwhelming endorsement and for the confidence reposed in him and his administration. The governor also commended them for the endorsement of President Bola Tinubu, GCFR, as well as the support extended to the Senate President Godswill Akpabio, GCON. The governor assured of commitment of his administration to an all-inclusive and quality leadership in the state to advance the living standard of the people, adding that every local government has the presence of state government project in their various areas. The event also witnessed the presence of the coordinator of the Office of the First Lady, Lady Helen Enobaraki, the Executive Assistant and Chief Delivery Advisory to the Governor, Mr. Nephew Johnson, members of the State Executive Council, among others. Edo State government is stepping up efforts to strengthen food production with a renewed push to identify genuine farmers and expand access to agricultural support. The Commissioner for Agriculture, Jerry Nwangwe, stated this in the state capital. The Commissioner for Agriculture, Jerry Nwangwe, stated this in Isan Central Local Government of the state during a registration exercise aimed at capturing real farmers and connecting them to support systems. Correspondent Favor Sazua reports.
Farming is not just a livelihood. It is a daily struggle shaped by resources and rising challenges. As part of Edo's Shine agenda, the state government is moving to change that narrative with a registration exercise aimed at capturing real farmers and connecting them to support systems. The Commissioner for Agriculture, Jerry Nwangwe, says accurate data will enable government to deliver inputs, funding, and target interventions where they are most needed.
This idea was brought through His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Edo State, most distinguished Senator Mode Okwaulu. So far, we have been able to cover the entire local government in Edo Central. And my message, please take advantage of this opportunity. It has never happened before. It's unprecedented. This is the first time a thing like this is happening. The governor has a lot in stock for you. Come out in March, register, benefit from what is about to happen in Edo Central, and get ready for a new thing. I want to assure every farmer that the government is having sleepless nights in the security issues concerning our farmland and Edo State at large. Across the 3 senatorial districts, the governor has built a base for the agricultural settlement in every community.
Beyond registration, authorities are encouraging communal farming with plans to clear large tracts of land to support group cultivation and improve productivity. Farmers, while welcoming the initiative, say insecurity and access to finance remain major concerns affecting their work. Officials say the program is part of a broader strategy to reposition agriculture and improve food security across the state.
What God have been doing before now, or everybody in my local government, we have been appreciating him, but the one we see today, the Commissioner for Agriculture came to let our people about the returning back to the farm. We are very impressed, and we know the governor is a man that fulfills his promise.
With this initiative, at least I would say it is a right step in the right direction. For years, we've not gotten it like this, that a commissioner will come to the local government to find out directly with the farmers their type of farms and their challenges they have.
When we can't sell the money finish, we even still borrow joiner, they pay ransom for those people. At the end of the day, we can't they pay loan for lapu, they pay loan for maybe grooming, where we for carry loan, they go do farm. Kidnappers don't carry all this money finish. So this security stuff, we need to strengthen our well so that they will help us make we fit do farming.
It's a very laudable initiative. It is something that we have never experienced here in our community before. And from the way the commissioner and the people that came with him, the way they have spoken,
hello, good afternoon.
I am sure this time around the governor is concerned about whatever the initiatives are, that they will get to the true farmers.
In Edo State, Favor Osazua.
On to Bayelsa State now, the government says it has fully repaid a restructured commercial bank loan obtained in 2016 to address financial obligations, including the payment of civil servants' salaries at the height of the economic recession. Well, the Accountant General of the state, Tokoni Fidi, stated this during the monthly transparency briefing held at the Treasury building in Yenagoa. Presenting the state's income and expenditure profile for the months of January, February, and March, the technical advisor to the Governor on Treasury and Accounts, Timibre Sepolu, said the state records a deficit after statutory deductions and capital expenditure. Also speaking at the briefing, the Commissioner for Information, Orientation and Strategy, Ebio Koko Obia, said the government remains committed to completing all ongoing projects before the end of Governor Doye Diri's administration.
People can remember when we were collecting half salaries. Part of the measures that the federal government had was to release most of the states of their obligations. From that calculation then till now, you can see that it's about 10 years. So that obligation, we have fully liquidated on it.
Balance brought forward in February was 58 billion. So when that figure took care of our deficit in March of 1,822 million, our actual balance carried forward at the end of March to April becomes 56 billion, 825 billion, 657,803 naira 86 kobo.
I must also update you on the gas turbine plants. Government understands the eagerness of the public to have the 60 megawatt gas plants lit their homes and power their businesses.
One assurance that this administration will like to give is that it will happen sooner. No projects will be left abandoned.
Moving on now, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has recorded a major breakthrough in its war against drug trafficking. Following an interim forfeiture order granted by the Federal High Court in Port Harcourt, the order covers 17 containers of banned opioids intercepted at the Onne port in 2025. The court, presided over by Justice Ademutaraki Mohammed, ruled that the drugs, including millions of pills of tramadol and thousands of bottles of codeine syrup, were illegally imported and chained in NDLEA custody pending final judgment. NDLEA Chairman Brigadier General Mohammed Marwa, retired, says the forfeiture is a direct hit on the financial networks of drug cartels, adding that it's a warning that Nigeria will not tolerate the flow of illicit drugs or their proceeds. Now to our story of interest, where we bring to you the questions around the Edo entertainment industry and how functional it is. Talking about the glory days of Edo State, and we talk about entertainment. There are voices wondering what is making up the Edo entertainment scene, and of course trying to understand and make sense of the investments that are going into the industry towards ensuring that tangibles can be reached and achieved. We have joined us CEO Walkfront African Network Limited, convener Best of Edo Award, and the Future Conference, himself an entertainment media strategist and youth development advocate. Sir Paul Ofani joins us from Edo State. Good afternoon to you. Thank you for joining us. Good afternoon, Sir Ofani. Thank you for joining us. Well, I'd like to start, if you could hear me. Let's start from your statement. The industry cannot succeed on alcohol, jokes, and laughter. That was you granting an interview. And that line struck a chord because it feels both blunt and deeply reflective. When you look at Edo's entertainment scene today, what exactly are you seeing that led you to make that submission that a lot of people consider a strong conclusion? So Paul Ofani, can you hear me?
Yes. Good afternoon. Yes, I can hear you. But I have this from anything. Good afternoon for me.
All right, so brother, and when we return, I'm sure we'll be able to have this conversation more smoothly with Sir Paul Ofani on the entertainment industry in Edo State. The state yet.
Step into the heartbeat of the world where news meets real talk. From breakthroughs in diplomacy to humanitarian challenges and scientific milestones, Global Digest takes you beyond the headlines and straight to the heart of the matter. I am Amma Marcus. Be a part of the Golden Stories at 3 p.m. on ADBN, channel 258 on DSTV, and Star Times, channel 140. Global Digest, your window to the world's current affairs, only on Advocate Broadcasting Network.
The overall function of the Parliament is adequate representation of their constituents in state echoes to federation.
Removal of fuel subsidies, resources to critical sectors such as education and health. A call to unity and progress of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
NAS Unplugged is a program that will highlight topical issues from both chambers of the National Assembly, from bills, motions, and constituency projects.
Guys have it.
Catch the program on ADBN TV, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays as we bring you activities of the National Assembly as it affects the people.
During the flood disaster in Maiduguri and its environs.
For increase in the number of judges in the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja.
The eye serving.
NAS Unplugged, Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays at 8 p.m.
For your news on the go, ADBN is everywhere you are. Connected with us across our social media and streaming platforms for exclusive news updates, captivating stories, and more. Join the ADBN community today via our various platforms. An Avo TV app, ADBN channel across social media handles. On X at ADBN TV. At ADBN TV. Facebook, ADBN TV. YouTube, ADBN TV. Keep visiting our website on www.adbntv.com. Watch us live anytime, anywhere. ADBN TV, a part of you.
Thanks for staying. Well, to answer the questions about the adult entertainment industry and whether it has lost its structure, talking about the glory days, what is truly happening in Edo State and what can truly be done to ensure that it is re-engineered to meet those targets that are hoped for by stakeholders and industry players. We have joining us on the program CEO, Walkfront African Network Limited, convener, Best of Edo Award and the Future Conference himself, an entertainment media strategist and youth development advocate. Sir Paul Ofani joins us from Edo State. Good afternoon to you. Thank you for joining us.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for joining us. Well, let's start from your statement. The industry cannot succeed on alcohol, quote and unquote. That line struck a chord because it feels both blunt and deeply reflective. When you look at Edo's entertainment scene today, what exactly are you seeing that led you to those conclusions?
All right, thank you very much. First and foremost, we have been in the entertainment industry over time, Edo to be precise, and with what is happening globally concerning the youth restiveness, concerning the insecurity, where most of these are driven by joblessness, I think we have failed drastically to address how the youth can be engaged, how the youth can be empowered. And that led to us looking at the entertainment industry that is so much full of opportunities that the government has not been able to tap into. For instance, in Edo State, we have a very rich talent and cultural heritage, okay, when you talk about that. But if you ask of the real progress, you'll find that nothing has been significantly done. The gap is very wide. Why? Because there's no potential structural development. Some weeks ago, I was on TV, the Edo State TV station, and I also expressed my interest and appealed to the government to see that a proper structure is put in place, which has to do with both the executive and the legislative coming up with a design blueprint to drive the entertainment industry here in Edo State, to create opportunities and open space for investment, for investors to come in and invest their money.
All right, let's rewind a bit. For those who may not fully understand the evolution, were there moments in Edo's history you would describe as a vibrant era for entertainment where structure, creativity, and opportunity seemed more aligned than they are now, which is, of course, some of the concerns that you're raising currently?
Okay, between the year 2009 and 2003 and 2011, Edo State was a hub of entertainment, where you have the A-list artists in Nigeria. If not until they come to Edo State to do a show, perform in one event or the other, they cannot consider themselves as stars. That is because the environment as at that time was conducive, accommodative, and we had structures that was transferred from the old generation into the new generation. At that time, we had entertainment programs, we have entertainment platforms. We had, for instance, the Oba Cultural Center was available and open to artists, open to directors, producers, talent scouts. Those with talents can walk in and they are discovered. But as of today, I tell you that there is nowhere you can find these people gathered together to discuss either the talents they have, how they can be mentored, how they can be restructured, how they can be captured and integrated into a formation for boost. We have, like I said earlier, we have talent in Edo, but we are unable to process this talent into a meaningful industry. Into a meaningful industry, from hospitality to, name it, to cultural monuments. We have a lot of it in Edo that you can start and finish a production in Edo without leaving Edo. You think you have traveled around the 7 cities in the world. But none of this exists today. Government failures and some other persons who were privileged by one way or the other to handle some of this portfolio mismanaged it and drew it to themselves as though it's a personal project.
Oh, well, let's reference the Obao Kenzua Cultural Center as a kind of lost hub. That is what you said, a space where ideas, talent, and business intersected. When you compare that era to today's reality, what exactly did we lose in that transition from structured cultural spaces to more informal settings? And if we begin to talk about what is expected to change in the Edo entertainment industry, what are those specific steps that you feel that if they were taken, we're going to see a massive change or boost in the entertainment industry in the state?
Okay, first and foremost, you must have something before you give it out. We must have something before you give it out. I strongly want to suggest or recommend some key direction to go. All right? Like you earlier asked, the cultural center was more like a hub, even when it wasn't a hub, but it was open. And because it was open, I could walk in from anywhere and spot a talent, pick the talent, groom the talent, and deliver the talent. Take, for instance, the most talked about Charlie Poppy is from Edo State. The most talked about Rema is from Edo State. During the days of the Oba Cultural Center, an event brand, an agency, organized a talent show where he brought in talents, the likes of Rema, in those days, and discovered Rema from that program. All right? Because there was a place that was considered as a hub. So today, the government should create an entertainment hub for talent grooming. If I have a talent and I don't know how to groom my talent, I don't know how to shape or put it into form, I will walk into a talent center or a talent hall where I can be discovered. If nobody can discover me from wherever I may be at that particular time. So the government needs to bring that. I know there is a place called the Victor Waipo Hub built by the last administration, okay, for talent, for entertainers. But if you go to the place today, nothing is happening there. Nothing is happening there, in fairness to truth. The entertainers are not seen coming there to interconnect, interrelate, interbuild. You know, we need to cross-fertilize ideas as entertainers. While we play our part as entertainers, we leave the government to play their part to ensure that there's an enabling environment. Not until these structures is done, get investment to come to the, let me invest in these people or the industry, so to say. It's becoming a one-man show.
So, Paul Afani, well, you have just highlighted some of the talents that you have in Edo State, coming out from Edo State in the music industry. Well, let's talk about film now. Talking about the rich cultural heritage of Edo State, one would want to wonder, I mean, what explosive stories can come out of Edo State if it were to rely and tap into its cultural richness. Talking the film industry now, was there an era where Edo took the lead When you look at the film industry and how it is structured currently in Nollywood, you think that there is more that Edo can offer to be up there when ranking music productions in the country or movie productions in the country?
In fairness to truth, but before I go into the movie industry, permit me to also highlight the big stars you hear in the entertainment industry in Lagos today are either from Edo or may have passed through Edo. The likes of Ali Baba, the likes of Basket Mouth, the likes of Agudai. I'm speaking about the comedy industry now. There are so many of them in this sector. So many of them. Even in the movie industry you just highlighted. Now, I was privileged to be speaking with somebody on my way to Lagos the other day. I said, if Edo people can tell their story, when an Edo man finds himself anywhere in the world, will be honored. We have not started telling our stories. Why are we not doing that? Again, the environment is not conducive. Like you asked, we can make $1 million film from Edo. You don't need to go out of Edo to do it. From the locations to the aesthetics, costume, from Edo to Edo, everything is here. We can make good movies from here. We can build $1 billion industry from Edo, telling just the Edo stories alone. Telling just the Edo stories alone without borrowing from any other tribe.
All right. So Paul Funny. Yes, I'd like you to round this up for us because, I mean, we're completely out of time. I wish we had more time. But then I'd like you to, look at it holistically now from the Niger Delta perspective. What you just spoke about, telling the story of Edo, is not just restricted to Edo alone. We could even say that it's countrywide. We haven't tapped into, our identity, and we haven't really told our stories. What do you think that problem is, and how can we begin to correct it in just 30 seconds?
All right. And first and foremost, Edo was one time Midwest to Bender before it became Edo. So when I speak of Edo, I think I'm trying to, it cuts across the Niger Delta, it cuts across the South, if you ask me. Now, what I think we should do going forward, first and foremost, the government has to bring these people who are practitioners to a round table. Let's have a blueprint, all right? Once the blueprint is established, otherwise government should not be bothered about creating jobs. The industry will create the jobs. The industry will create the opportunity for you to get gainfully employed, and make money from themselves. It's a whole long chain of, what do you call it? Once the government can give us a direction by establishing an industry that is backed by law, not Baba saying, that is backed by law, all right? Now, we cannot go into what we call public-private partnership. You see persons coming with their ideas, their scripts, their projects and programs. The government becomes a surety to investors. They say, okay, come into the state, come into our territory, we back these people, give them funding, and they will return, there will be good return on investment. Once we have that put in place, trust me, the country, not Edo State, we have a huge turnaround.
All right.
A huge turnaround. Yes.
Thank you very much, CEO, Walkfront African Network Limited, convener Best of Edo Award and the Future Conference, entertainment, media strategist, and youth development advocate, Paul Ofani. We appreciate your time and company on the program.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. So take a breather, and when we return, the focus of the day takes us to the Federal Road Safety Corps in Akwa Ibom State and the work that is before it with its new sector commander now fully in office. Do stay tuned.
In a world of overwhelming voices where everyone has different opinion on different issues, it is important that we bring the core issue to the fore. Join me, Nancy Banigo, on Softline as we leave voices to inform and influence your thoughts and actions. This is not just mere talk, it is an invocative program that touches the core of our existence.
The overall function of the Parliament is adequate representation of their constituents in state echoes the Federation.
Removal of fuel subsidies, resources to critical sectors such as education and health. A call to unity and progress of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
NAS Unplugged is a program that will highlight topical issues from both chambers of the National Assembly, from motions and constituency project.
Guys have it.
Catch the program on ADBN TV, Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays as we bring you activities of the National Assembly as it affects the people.
During the flood disaster in Maiduguri and its environs.
For increase in the number of judges in the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja.
The eyes have it.
NAS Unplugged, Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays at 8 p.m.
Step into the heartbeat of the world where news meets real talk. From breakthroughs in diplomacy to humanitarian challenges and scientific milestones, Global Digest takes you beyond the headlines and straight to the heart of the matter. I am Amma Marcus. Be a part of the world unfolding stories at 3 p.m. on ADBN, channel 258 on DSTV, and Star Times, channel 140. Global Digest, your window to the world's current affairs, only on Advocate Broadcasting Network.
Your news on the go. ADBN is everywhere you are. Stay connected with us across all our social media and streaming platforms for exclusive news updates, captivating stories, and more. Join the ADBN community today via our various platforms. Anavo TV app, ADBN channel 121, Niger TV app, ADBN TV, Linuxwell TV app. To get the latest news straight to your phone, join our WhatsApp TV channel. Just search for ADBN TV and hit the follow button. Turn on your notification to stay updated and never miss any part of the experience. Stay in the conversation with us across social media handles. On X at ADBN TV, Instagram at ADBN TV, Facebook ADBN TV, YouTube ADBN TV. Keep visiting our website on www.adbntv.com. Watch us live anytime, anywhere. ADBN TV, a part of you.
A new dawn of unprecedented development has emerged in Akwa Ibom, driven by the Arise agenda and led by the people-centered administration of Governor Umoeno. An agricultural revolution has unfolded through Ibom model farms, farmer support initiatives, and food security programs. Roads and bridges are reconnecting communities, driving inclusive growth as power sector reforms advance and CNG mass transit gets set to deliver cleaner, affordable transportation. Maritime infrastructure is rising in Oron, reviving coastal commerce and transportation. Security is strengthened through modern technology, vigilant security agencies, and the Ibom Community Watch. Housing and investment are accelerating with free housing for workers and homes for the vulnerable, and landmark estates repositioning the state. Education is redefined with model schools, while healthcare expands with models, and the 350-bed Ibom International Hospital health insurance coverage is progressing steadily with hundreds of thousands of enrollees. Tourism is advancing boldly with the audacious Arise Palm Resort, Ibom Convention Center, Arise Shopping City, and a growing aviation ecosystem. Governance, procurement, and recruitment are smarter through digital innovation. Because the people matter, workers, women, youths, retirees, the elderly, and the vulnerable are empowered across all 31 local government areas. Akwa Ibom, steadily progressing under the Arise agenda of Governor Umoeno.
We're glad you're still there. Now, if you drive in Akwa Ibom, or even if you don't, you've likely had an encounter with the Federal Road Safety Corps, sometimes reassuring, sometimes frustrating, and in recent times, a subject of public scrutiny around issues like enforcement methods, professionalism, and even public trust. There were reports in recent months pointing to concerns around misconduct, discipline, and ethical lapses among some personnel. The task before any new leadership is not just operational, it is reputational. At the same time, the realities on our roads remain pressing. Speeding, distracted driving, unclaimed driver's licenses, poor compliance with traffic rules, and the human cost of avoidable accidents. So, what changes now? What new direction should road users expect? Joining us is the new sector commander of the Federal Road Safety Corps in Akwa Ibom State, a seasoned officer with experience in public education and administration, now tasked with strengthening discipline and improving safety outcomes on our roads. We're pleased to welcome FRC Sector Commander, Akwa Ibom State, Felicia Kalo. You're welcome on the program. Thank you for joining us.
Much.
It's good to have you. Yeah. So, Madam Commander, let's start with the human side of the transition. Before you stepped into the command, there was already a structure, there was a history, and of course, a relationship that was already on ground. Now, coming into Akwa Ibom State, and from what you've observed so far, what would you say about the road culture in the state?
Okay, thank you for having me in this program. I've just been like a week plus here, and what I've observed is majorly I see at the junctions, there are some of the junctions I see people, especially these keke drivers, they don't turn at where they're supposed to turn. So I've observed that. And also I observed that the junctions, people don't obey the traffic. I was there like on Sunday, these 4 lanes, the area they call 4 lanes. So I happened to pass there on Sunday and I was waiting. The traffic kept me, but I saw people just driving anyhow, turning anyhow at that point. But ordinarily, I see the roads are clean, good, and probably that's why maybe they do those infractions. The roads are good and wide, so.
Have you received reports? I'm sure you must have been briefed about some of the sad incidents that have taken place in terms of accidents that we've had in recent times. You talk about the Ring Road. There was a recent one that happened along Wangiba, and it claimed a lot of lives. And this is most times attributed to overspeeding and recklessness in driving. Sometimes these persons who tend to take to the steering of heavy-duty trucks, not trained, and they throw caution to the wind. Coming into office in Akwa Ibom State, you must have developed some sort of template, a blueprint that you hope at resolving some of those issues. How do you hope at achieving this? Let's say 100 days from now, what specific changes are we hoping at seeing?
Okay, like you said, I'm coming from a background of public enlightenment. So I see some of these infractions, some of them are not, they are not really enlightened, some don't know the rules of the road. So I intend to do more of public enlightenment, and I will take it to the churches, church advocacy. We'll go to the churches, we'll go to motor park, conduct our rallies. I also intend to go to offices, government offices. We want to take the message to them directly. So I want to put more force.
Well, your predecessor left behind both achievements and challenges. You would admit that, including concerns raised about discipline and professionalism amongst your officers. Now, for the average road user, these issues are not abstract. They show up in our daily encounters. And as the new leader, how do you begin to build or rebuild public trust to ensure that there is some sort of synergy, collaboration between both the commuters and the work that you do at the FRC?
Okay. I will continue to talk to the public. I will seek the support of the media. to help in these aspects. I'll keep talking to the public, talking to them about the rules of the road, while also engaging my staff. Every Wednesday, we have what we call in-house lectures, where we update our staff on recent practices in the Corps, give them lectures on certain aspects of our job, including these public relations and all that, how to relate with the road users and all that. So I will bring that to bear, training and retraining of our staff on how to relate with the public. I think it will go a long way to help.
Indeed. And let's digress a little bit to your background. I mean, from linguistics to communication science and then into public education with the Corps. That's quite a unique path. And now, how does that communication expertise shape the way you approach this work at the FRSC and now at the helm of affairs as sector commander?
Yeah, human relation, for you to relate with humans, you must understand human and human behavior. So I read linguistics, and then I had reflection and all that. So that's why I had to do that in my master's to understand human better. So this is a job we deal with human beings, and human beings have different characteristics, of which you have to understand the psychology of a human to know how to approach different individuals, different ways of life and understanding. So studying that communication has helped me to know how to relate, talk with people, and convince them to believe in what I do.
Yeah, we often say that road crashes are preventable. But even as soon as we say that, we see them still happening. And you want to address some of the root causes of these incidences that we see on our roads. And is it even possible to perhaps attempt to reach a utopia? There's a world where, we don't have issues of this nature that would make one want to cringe when they see it. You see a lot of very sad incidences happen, and people who never thought that they were going to lose their lives end up losing their lives because they were simply at the wrong location. What is really the reasons for some of these mishaps that we see on the roads? And is it possible that they can be tackled?
Yes, there are many causes of these crashes, and it's attributed to human, mechanical, and also the climate environment. Human in the sense that the fault is majorly on the driver. When you don't obey the rules, follow the rules, the regulations of driving, where speeding, you are given a road a speed limit of 100, and you are rushing to wherever you're going, and you're speeding at 120. What do you expect? And then mechanical, your vehicles are supposed to be in order. Every morning, you check your vehicles to make sure that it's in order. Check the tires, check the wipers, and the rest of them to make sure that your vehicle is in order. When you don't maintain your vehicles, anything can happen. And then you talk about climatic issues, environment. Driving under the rain requires a different technique. When the weather is bad and you are reckless, when the roads are bad, those are some of the causes of these accidents.
Talking about the mechanical aspect, that makes me want to wonder, is it possible that a driver, so to say, can actually foretell that his vehicle is going to have issues and maybe get them checked before it leads to that point where it becomes a problem for another person and even to himself?
Yeah. There's routine maintenance, which a lot of people do not observe. And even when you're driving, you may be hearing some strange noises and you just overlook it. And you see your tires, that one is physical. You can see it. And see your tire is worn out. You keep managing. You know, you could see many of these problems, but at times maybe due to economical problem or whatever, or just carelessness. They do happen.
There was a report of thousands of unclaimed driver's licenses in the state. Some even expired before collection. What does that suggest to you? And I know the FRC is very big on ensuring that drivers who ply the roads are well licensed, but why would we have 6,000 uncollected driver's license in your unit? And what is happening? Is it that these persons do not see the need to come collect their driver's license because perhaps they are not really being disturbed by the FRC in the state?
Well, you know, human behavior. Some, they will follow up. When they start the process of this driving license acquisition, they follow up to the end, and they collect theirs and go. But some may, due to one reason or the other, they may not come back. But what we do, when we discover these problems, you know, we do reach out to the populace, through the media. We also send text messages because we have the contacts of these applicants. We send them texts. Those are theirs are ready to come and pick them. We also, during church, all these advocacies, we also tell them, you know, remind them that the licenses are ready, they should come. Because it's also a problem for us, keeping all those, you know, they're lying redundant. So we reach out.
Well, pedestrians are arguably considered one of the most vulnerable road users. What the command is doing towards ensuring that pedestrians are safer. You talk about the schools where we have children who sometimes go to schools on their own, and you wonder about safety. Sometimes I do see children try to cross the roads, and I cringe, wondering about their safety, so to say. Is it possible that FRC can do more towards ensuring that schools are safer, especially when we have schools that are directly linked to highways?
Okay, it's one of the plans I have, because I've gone around a little bit to observe some of these schools, and I discovered there are no pedestrian crossing, which is very, very important, and the absence of it, as you said, is very risky for the students and the pupils. So I've observed that, and it is in my plan to also reach out to the schools. They can also do it to safeguard the lives of the children, to put those zebra crossings on the roads, in front of the school.
Interesting. And then talking about collaboration with the state government, this is a very important aspect of it, the synergy that exists between the FRC and the state government in terms of, we'll talk about the many road projects that the state government embarks upon, and you wonder if the FRC has a role to play in terms of inputs regarding what can be done when these roads are constructed to ensure that safety is, you know, upheld effectively. Recently, along Ring Road 3, there was also an accident, and it's usually attributed to, you know, mismanagement of how the circus there is. It's really quite big and wide, and you begin to wonder, are there orientations that can go into ensuring that drivers and commuters better handle a road network of that nature? What level of synergy would you want to encourage as you resume office in Akwa Ibom?
You know, in my organization, we have a department called COSEN, called Safety Engineering Office Department. So they do safety audit, road audits, and they bring in such reports and observations. And I've discussed, I held a meeting some days back with my management and some of these unit commanders who identify some of those bad spots. And they are going to write. I encourage them. They will write, and then we process it and forward to make recommendations to the state government. You know, yeah.
All right. Well, talking about issue of vehicle roadworthiness, I understand that FRC also gets to check the vehicles to ensure that you have all the components before you can use the road. Sometimes drivers even sight the FRC from afar, and you see them turning back. They decide to use another route. But when you embarking on searches of this nature? What kind of challenges do you encounter, and what can make your work easier, the work that you do at the FRIC?
Okay, in terms of, that's doing checks on the vehicles. We do that. I think we do that. We do that. We do checks on the vehicles. So we need synergy. We synergize with some of these, some other
security agencies.
Security agencies. So because we know at times the road users may want to cause problems for us, so we do go with police. We mobilize police or civil defense. So we need that security. We need that security. We have the challenge of that security. So we reach out to other sister agencies to support us.
All right, Madam Commander. Well, as we begin to wind down the conversation now, what shift do you want to see in the thought process of every road user, every commuter in Akwa Ibom State as you begin work? What changes are we going to start seeing moving forward, and what advice are you going to likely want to put out there in terms of awareness? And hopefully we're going to be having interfaces of this nature going forward to always, bring the work of the FRC to the public. But then, what message would you have to the people of Akwa Ibom?
Okay, what I want to tell the Akwa Ibomites is for them to always think safety. When they are on the road, they should think about their safety, whether they are driving or whether they are walking. They should also abide by the rules of the road that will make their lives safe. So they should cooperate. I plead that they should cooperate with me with road safety so that we'll make the state better in terms of road use and reducing of road traffic crashes.
Thank you very much, FRC Sector Commander Akwa Ibom State, Felicia Kalu, for speaking to us on the program this afternoon. We appreciate your time and company.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's another program this afternoon. Thank you very much for watching. Join us again tomorrow for another edition. My name is Xavier Robert, wishing you a terrific afternoon. Bye.
ADBN, Advocate Broadcasting Network.
Step into the heartbeat of the world where news meets real talk. From breakthroughs in diplomacy to humanitarian challenges and scientific milestones, Global Digest takes you beyond the headlines and straight to the heart of the matter. I am Amma Marcus. Be a part of the world unfolding stories at 3 p.m. on ADBN, channel 258 on DSTV, and Star Times, channel 140. Global Digest, your window to the world's current affairs, only on Advocate Broadcasting Network.
The global business is never static. Watch the market report on ADBN TV for business information, latest happening, business deals, government economic policies, stock, crude oil and commodity trading, financial upstick and downstick, and the world of organized private sector. The market report showing on ADBN TV.